Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another module. And this is an exciting one. I know that with all the changes kind of going on right now with Instagram and Facebook, how basically Facebook has kind of changed the rules around how you can send your very first message out to anyone. Now, you can only basically send one message out. You can't send video messages right away. It's just a new update to basically prevent a lot of spam happening inside of the DMs. So in today's video, we're going to basically be updating our approach to sending Instagram DMs and Instagram DM video messages. All right. So today we're going to be walking through obviously the updates with the new Instagram policies, sending Instagram DMs, the messaging framework, the value video that you can actually send over, and of course, getting calls booked. All right. So like I had mentioned, obviously a lot of things have changed in the world of Instagram recently. And a lot of people now are only looking at, their outbound outreach from like an email perspective, right? Sending Instagram DMs is very, very undervalued. All right. The reason being is a lot of people are lazy. I think as business owners, like we are all willing to, work hard at certain things. But I think when it comes to other things in our businesses, we're typically lazy, right? So the biggest thing is, understanding what areas of your outreach and what areas of cold outbound are undervalued and being underutilized in the market. If you can go there and attack those places first, you will inevitably win because less people are actually going and doing it, right? So obviously for this module, we're looking at Instagram DMs as the first things first. So as of August of 2023, there's been some recent changes. Obviously, you cannot send direct messages on Instagram that include a video in your very first message. Once you send the first message to somebody, you are actually unable to follow up with them as well too. So you need to make sure that you are just, blasting messages out and making sure that that very first message is intriguing enough to get a response so that you can carry that conversation. Okay. So the new Instagram DM approach. So very, very similar to how you guys are currently being taught on how to send your emails is how you're going to send DMs. Okay. So you're basically going to be asking for permission to send over value. Okay. So depending on how your copy looks, obviously you want to keep it short and sweet and get straight to the point, but you want to be sending a message that communicates to that prospect that you have a piece of value that you've already created for them that you want to send over, and they just need to respond back wanting that value and you can send it over. Okay. So once you've sent over that message, all you can pretty much do is wait. Now, it sucks. Obviously, you can't follow up, but a good approach is if you have that person on Instagram and you've sent that message, find them on LinkedIn, find them on Facebook, and follow up with them there, right? You can still follow up on other social media platforms. It just won't be inside of Instagram, which does suck, but there's other ways that you can touch on following up. Okay. So what do you do when a prospect responds? All right. So you've got a response. Now it's time to send over a value video. All right. So you're going to send them a quick video of yourself doing the following. Now, again, now that they've responded, you can send multiple messages to them. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to send them basically a selfie facing video like this with your phone and make it very quick. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to compliment them or their business. You're going to state your offer in a single sentence. You're going to state your service in a single sentence. And you're going to communicate that you believe that they would be a good fit for what you serve your clients with, okay, being your service. Your CTA is going to be very simple. The CTA is where you're going to be creative in the sense of sending them, getting them to respond back to, for you to send the value video, right? So here's where you can get creative. You can either have a simple CTA, get them to book in a call, which will require you to share your appointment link, okay? Or you can send them a value video audit, which you've created, okay? So this is how you're actually going to go. And I would actually recommend this way, because what happens a lot of the time is if you're sending people a call link, it's just, at the end of the day, like they don't owe you anything, right? So the chance of them booking in a call, your conversion rate on that's going to be very, very low. So what I actually recommend you doing is sending over a value video. Okay. So this is where things get interesting. So you're going to send them a value video audit that you've created. Okay. You're going to keep this generic, but seemingly personalized. Okay. And there's a few ways you can go about that. First option is the more traditional sense. You're actually going to have to manually create Loom videos that are all custom based, and people will know that they're custom created, right? Because you're going to show different tabs. You might have tabs up of their Instagram, their Facebook, their YouTube, their website, all these things. You're going in and out of each tab. You're using their name. Like they can identify right away that this is a personalized video. All right. The second option is you're going to utilize a software called Replicue. Okay. So what RepliQ does is it's amazing for emails. And I know that we are building modules, and we probably have, by the time that you're seeing this, modules out about this software. But what RepliQ will do is, if you have information about your prospect, being their social media platforms, their website, what it'll do is it'll turn the thumbnail that you're going to attach to your message or your email. It'll make it of their website, their social media, so that they think, okay, well, this is personalized. I can see my website, I can see my social media. He's obviously doing a audit or walkthrough of my social media or my website. But what it also does is it allows you to create a more personalized video, because RepliQ will go into their website and into their social media, and it'll basically just click in and out of their website. It'll click in and out of their social media. It'll go in and out of pages as if you were doing it yourself on an audit. But the trick is when you are speaking to the camera to make your video, you're basically just introducing yourself while, RepliQ is kind of doing its thing. It's going in and out of the websites, all this stuff. And you can set a timer based off of how long you want it to go in and out of that person's website, in and out of that person's social media. It's really cool. It basically utilizes AI to do this. But while you're in the background actually making the video of, what your offer is, your service, everything like that. And the best way to go about it is you create this basically like 4 to 5 minute long at max video of, again, the first 10, 15 seconds are maybe going in and out of the website. It's automatically doing that with AI. But then on the back end, you're walking through more of a pitch deck. You're walking through a pitch deck of what you offer. Maybe, you're identifying a few problems in the market that a lot of brands or businesses that you work with are, currently facing. Where your business comes in, what you offer, your service, your guarantee, all these different things, right? Maybe some client testimonials. It's basically you're walking through a pitch deck, but you want to make it quick. Like, honestly, 5 minutes max is what I would recommend. I know here that I have it about 2 to 3 minutes. That's kind of the sweet spot. More modules are coming out on this because we are currently testing this with like thousands of emails that we are sending out, blasting people with, our RepliQ sort of approach. So we will be optimizing this for you guys, but I would recommend no longer than 5 minutes. But honestly, if you can keep it to 2 to 3 minutes max, you'll be in the sweet spot right there. Okay. Now the video, whether you're doing Loom or whether you're doing RepliQ, it needs to be quick. So you need to introduce yourself quickly, state you're offering your service, name drop their brand, or create some sort of personalization with AI. Obviously, that would be RepliQ, right? If you're using Loom, it's going to be manually. You're going to have to name drop them and show that it's personalized. And then go into the pitch deck or flowchart using lucid.app or Miro that communicates your service. Okay. You can create a pitch deck, or you can use some sort of flowchart software like Miro or Lucid app. Okay. So you always want to relay how each aspect of your service can generate results. Okay. That is very, very key. So if you're identifying the problems that most businesses are facing, you want to relay to how you provide a solution. Okay. And then at the end of the video, that's when you can provide the CTA to book in a call. Okay. So very, very simple. It's really cool what you can do with these softwares now as well too, with Loom and RepliQ. You can basically have the link pop out. They can click the link and it'll direct them right to your Calendly appointment calendar. Or if you're using Go High Level, it'll redirect them there. You just have to provide the link. Okay. So very, very simple. I would always say if you're sending in a DM, make sure that, you have it attached in the video. Make sure that you're following up with them, asking if they've watched the video. And then you can follow up with them on the link, right? Always make sure that you are communicating some open dates as well too. Like make them aware that, hey, I have Wednesday in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time open. Does that sound good for you? Encourage them to book in a call, book it in manually for them, like literally do anything possible to get that booked call. Okay. So hopefully this actually helps you guys out with, the new approach to Instagram DMs, especially for sending videos, because I know that, of course, like, rules are always changing, policies are always changing amongst a lot of these social media platforms. So the biggest thing is you are just going in and asking for permission to send over some sort of value. Okay. And let them know, give them direction. Say, hey, listen, just let me know, just send yes, and I'll send over that value video. And if they say, yes, I want it, whatever that call to action was, then send over that value video. Very, very simple stuff. Okay. But this is going to get you a lot higher of a response rate. And it's actually going to communicate to these prospects that you are actually adding value in a more personalized sense compared to everyone else who are just blasting people with like the generic Instagram DMs or emails and stuff like that. Right. So it's very, very personalized. So hopefully this module helps you guys out with new updated approaches to Instagram DM videos. And if you guys have any questions, throw it in the community. We'll be happy to help. All right. We'll see you guys in the next module.